Welcome back. Fox Weather is your Hurricane HQ, and we're now just a week away from the Eastern Pacific Basin hurricane season starting, less than a month from the start of the Atlantic Basin hurricane season. All eyes are turning to the tropics and what could now be one of the strongest El Niño events ever observed. With the Super El Niño now in the forecast, there are many possibilities of what could unfold, but we know this will be a major forcing in the season ahead. So let's bring in Fox Weather hurricane specialist Bryan Norcross. Bryan, great to see you. We know the government doesn't use Super El Niño, right? That's not a superlative that they use, but right. It is most certainly showing up in some of these forecasts on both basins.
Yeah, it's actually technically a very strong El Nino, but Super El Nino is fine, and that is a possibility. The water temperature in the Pacific is warming up. We're trending toward almost certainly an El Nino, which has a negative effect, yay, on Atlantic hurricanes, but it has a lot of ramifications. So let's take a look in the Eastern Pacific here. And the first thing that jumps out at you is this incredibly warm batch of water off Mexico and California. When I say warm, I mean warmer than normal. So for this time in May, this is spectacularly warmer than normal. You see it's way up here near the top of our scale. Now, this has nothing to do with El Nino. This is just this very, very unusually warm pool of water. When we look at the El Nino area, it's over in here, and we'll look at this in more detail in just a second. It's south of Hawaii. So if it warms up too, we're going to end up with a tremendous amount of warm water. But let's look here and see, this goes as far north as San Francisco in terms of being exceptionally warm, and then the northern half of Mexico. So any kind of flow of air that comes in this way is going to be more moist than normal. So when you get this kind of extra warm water, you tend to get more humidity in the southwest, stronger thunderstorms, and maybe a tropical system moving north as everything warms up. Now, as I said, this is not the water still isn't warm there. It's just warmer than normal. Here's what the water is. You see there's the dividing line between the tropical water down here, and this is still relatively cool. But to have water in the 60s off of San Diego this time of year is exceptionally warm, and that's going to warm as we get toward the summer. There was an El Nino in the 80s that I remember swimming in Southern California, and I thought, wow, this is great. That one and only year that I've been in the ocean in Southern California. Then another ramification of all this warm water here is Hawaii tends to have a higher chance of getting tropical weather when you have all this warm water to the south of the island. So we're going to keep an eye on that. So moisture into the southwest and potentially tropical moisture, tropical systems going that way, and Hawaii. Mexico is not so big a deal because they tend to get the stronger winds for the storms that come close to there, but we'll see. Now, for the El Nino, which is separate from that pool of warm water, it's this box that we look at. Scientific analysis over many years has shown that if the water in this box gets super warm, then that affects the weather patterns all over the world. And one of those effects is to tend to squash Atlantic hurricanes because we get strong upper level winds across Mexico, across the Gulf, Caribbean, and into the Atlantic. So that's what we're going to watch for as we go forward. Now look at this. This is the forecast. So very warm tongue of water in that box is what the computer models are forecasting. This is the European model, ECMWF, and this is for September to November. So that's what we're looking forward to. In terms of the computer forecasts, there is the variety of them. The average showing the kind of middle range there is still very high. So this 2, that's 2 degrees Celsius right here, kind of take your eye over there and you see that the average is right about 2 degrees Celsius. So that would be a strong to very strong El Nino that's on average really does affect the Atlantic hurricane season in terms of the numbers of storms. Doesn't eliminate storms, it just does affect them. All right, let's look and see what's causing all this and what the phenomenon is here. Here you see, this is South America over here. So we've sliced the Pacific Ocean right along the equator, and here's Asia over here. kind of compressed it, obviously. And so what normally happens is the winds blow from east to west, and that's because of the way the Earth spins, and you get the east to west winds like we get in the Atlantic, the trade winds. All right, so what that does is that takes the water here and puts the warm water over to this side, to the western side of the Pacific. If everything is kind of average, you tend to get the warmer water in the western Pacific. But sometimes these winds let up some, and sometimes you even get some coming from the west, and that takes this line, the thermocline, between the cold water below and this warm water and kind of tilts it, and it ends up more like this, and you get more warm water here in the east. So that's what's happening in the Pacific. We'll see how much that happens, and that's got to do with how warm the water is in that El Nino box. All right, on the other side of the Pacific, there is a tropical storm out there. Hagupit, it's called. That's a Filipino word, means to lash. That is the island of Yap right there. And it's not much of a storm, 40-mile-an-hour storm. But I'm showing you this. It's not going to affect anybody. It's no big deal. But you'll see why I'm showing you this in just one second. Here's the typical cone. There you see the wind speeds just weakening as it's east of the Philippines. But this year, we have something new. Besides the traditional cone, which remember is 2/3 of the time, on average, based on history, the storm stays within the cone, the center of the storm. But now, this year, we have the Google model, and it's got a different kind of projection, kind of cone. We'll call it a 90% confidence forecast track. 90% chance, according to Google, that the center will stay in here. It looks kind of funny because it ends here, like the storm is forecast by Google to just be on the dissipating stage there. But it's a different kind of thing. It's based on the weather pattern right now, not on history. So it's just part of this advance we have in AI with the Google DeepMind model. Taking a look at the water around our part of the country here, Florida and the southeast, it is warm, but not terribly warm. So actually the coolest it's been in the last few years, but above normal. So we still have energy for storms early in the season if something happens to develop. Ian?
Brian, I have many, many questions. Only get time for one. And because I'm most curious about the AI, I'm going to ask you more about what you just showed us from Google. A very interesting thing with that 90% forecast zone new this season. It did look like it was slightly offset from the actual cone. And then that gets me thinking to last year where the Google AI model just rocked it. So is it like investing where it's past performance does not guarantee future results? What would you reasonably expect out of that new product moving through this season?
Well, there's a couple things going on here. One is that the timing, if you notice, on the Google model is a little in the past here. So it's actually the previous cycle. So it might, when the new one comes out, it might shift some. But yes, it's just done differently. It's a different kind of technology. It's a more modern technology. I think it's the way we're going as we go forward the next few years to these AI models that run better. And Google proved they're very reliable, but we'll prove it this year. So we're going to show it, and we'll just see what's going to happen, Ian. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, just like last year where we said we're just going to show it, and it more often than not was the best one that we showed. So this is such an exciting time. Another really cool new tool. That's the man right there, Fox Weather Hurricane Specialist Bryan Norcross. What, a week until Pacific season, less than a month until the Atlantic. Soon we'll be seeing a whole lot more of you. Brian, thank you.
Okay, see you.